Pierre Bruce was, in fact, one of the settlers that came with the first Selkirk settlers in the first few years, and he brought this fiddle with him. The fiddle was made in about 1800, sometime between 1795 and 1805 in London, England, and then it was brought to the Red River Colony with him. And when he got there, he became what sort of the dance master of the colony. He was the guy who led the dances in houses or in other buildings, I'm not sure, and it must have been a good time. You can imagine how many people would have packed in there to have this experience, to hear a fiddle and to have some fun, some good times, you know, socially. And I think was probably a counterbalance too to some of the tensions that were percolating in the colony at that time between different groups. But certainly that violin has seen a lot of action over the years. I think the last time it was played, to my knowledge, was in the 1930s at the Pantages Playhouse just across the street here. This chair belongs to the Manitoba Historical Society. It was made sometime in the mid-1800s, and it's really a nice showpiece for the conjoining of these different cultural groups. You have in it, you have a rawhide seat, and that is technology that's directly borrowed from the First Nations in the area. You have a post system of joinery, which is from New France. It comes through the Métis line, and then but the pattern itself is a Scottish folk pattern of furniture building. There have been some that have said that this was really a very early and successful experiment in multiculturalism in Canada. You had a number of groups here. You had the Assiniboine, Ojibwe, Cree, Métis, and then the Scottish, Irish that came with them, and then eventually some Swiss as well. And this was all within, you know, a 20, 30-year period. People had to figure out how to get along together. It wasn't easy. People had alliances. They had challenges. And there were some fights that broke out, but certainly eventually they made it work, and things really stabilized by the 1850s and certainly by the 1860s. The Red River experience was a multicultural one that worked in many ways.